We're mad.
Atlanta residents clearly have had enough.
For you to expect us to think that 4 million gallons of water is leaking somewhere on our property and not showing up is absolutely mind-blowing.
We were taking a shower every day. Now we're skipping sometimes because we're trying to save the water.
For more than 3 years, Atlanta, a city of more than 500,000 residents, has been bombarded with complaints of outrageous water bills. Similar complaints are popping up around the country in places like Cleveland, Charlotte, Tampa, and Brockton, Massachusetts. But the water bill war is nothing like in Atlanta. Just ask Wilda Cobb.
I feel like I'm going crazy.
Cobb lives by herself in this 1,800 square foot home. Her water bill averages $30 to $40 a month until it began going up more than $1,200 in November. Her December bill, nearly $6,900. Cobb now owes more than $10,000. And city inspectors found no leaks.
For me to have to take the time to do this.
And then there's Debbie Scarborough. Her water bill shot up more than $3,000 after 2 months of huge spikes last summer.
This is another bill, another month.
She even hired 2 plumbers to prove there was no leak. 5 years ago, the city hired a company to replace its aging water meters with automatic meter reading devices. All city workers have to do is drive by and electronically collect the data. But it hasn't gone as smoothly as it looks. As early as 2007, problems arose when city auditors found they were unable to verify electronic reads for 13% of the meters that were tested. Then, in 2009, another audit found a high number of accounts that don't get actual meter readings because of meter read errors, equipment failures, or human error.
Significant amount of frustration on everybody's part.
Peter Amon is the chief operating officer for the city of Atlanta.
When these automated meters were put in, obviously the subcontractors to the city that did this work did an absolutely horrible job in a number of cases.
Baloney.
And residents are getting more and more angry. Amon tells us 1% of the meters sampled were not properly installed. A mistake that could cause a water bill to double.
At this point, it looks like just good old-fashioned incompetence.
Amon showed us how the meters register, which measures how much water is being used, didn't even fit properly with the meter base.
Where these two components don't match. And guess what? They're both labeled. This one says 3/4 on it. This one has a 1 on it. Now, it's small print, but it's big enough to see.
You wouldn't get an accurate reading.
That would be a totally inaccurate reading.
We repeatedly tried to interview executives of both Neptune Technologies, which manufactured the meters, and Systems and Software, which provided the billing system, but they refused to comment. Amon says there is no evidence those companies are at fault, but he says the company that installed the meters should be held accountable. That company is Cofra, based in Atlanta, which teamed up with another firm in Pennsylvania to carry out the $40 million installation contract. Valentino Bates is Cofra's president.
For the 3 years that we worked on that project, we satisfied all concerns with respect to that contract.
So you think a successful contract includes 1% of the meters not operating properly?
And those 1% were fixed prior to our leaving and turning over the warranty to the city.
So you're saying right now all your meters are installed properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Bates said repairs were completed last year on 968 meters that had a mismatched base, and said he was not aware of additional meter issues identified by the city.
If they were installed incorrectly by the contractor this way.
But we showed him what Amon said about the newly discovered improper installations.
He's saying that that is still a problem, and that's what's causing a number of the bills to double.
I can't speak to what it is, but all the ones that we were notified of when we did our own internal audit and the audit that was done by the city, we took care of those problems.
But residents say there is more to the problem. Our water bill would be enough for a large Olympic pool to be filled. I'm at my wit's end and ready to have a nervous breakdown. This smells like a scam.
Do the majority of the people that have complained about high water bills, do they have leaks?
The majority of the people who complain about high water bills have some issue that's not associated with the meter. Many of them have either leaks or increases in usage through irrigation or pool filling that they didn't fully understand the impact of.
But don't tell that to Debbie Scarborough or Wilda Cobb.
You have a $3,000 water bill and
No leaks. No leaks, and my meter is working fine.
While it's still unclear what's wrong, the city is now monitoring water usage at her home. As for Wilda Cobb, the city says something must have happened in a 1-month period for her bills to shoot up so dramatically and then go back down to just $34.
I literally just, this can't be real.
Cobb knows something about water issues. Ironically, she's an attorney with the Environmental Protection Agency.
As a person, I know something's wrong here. As an attorney, what can I do about it? But I don't think it takes a law degree to say, $7,000 for a month's use of water by one person in a small home. It's just crazy.